Morning, welcome to the Olympian Table. We're a little bit late today, my apologies for that. We were just sort of discussing what we were going to talk about. We have some interesting articles this morning on the Olympian Table. As always, I've got the two best lone ladies in the city. We've got Miss Laura and we've got Miss Courtney.
Hello.
Good morning.
I love the way you go red.
Already?
Every time I say your name, it's like red.
Put on the spot.
So introduce yourself, come on.
Hi,
Do all your good stuff.
I am Laura Zuniga, Senior Loan Officer at Lone Star Premier Mortgage.
Do you not think she sounds confident, everybody? Okay. All right, and Courtney?
Yes. I am Courtney Guerra, and I'm also with Lone Star Premier Mortgage.
And my name is Stephen Williams, and I'm the host of the podcast. And I own a company called Century 21 Olympian. And we're just out there talking about all the things relevant in life today. Pop culture and all the other garbage that's out there, we want to talk about it. So we always start off with some funny shorts that we sort of see out there. We're going to start off with something today which we think is pretty sweet, actually. And, you know, we all complain about the bad things in America and all the other stuff. But we're going to start off today with a short that I found on YouTube, which is a really enlightening short, and it's called The Flum Family. So do you just want to just shoot that off quickly so everybody can see it? Surprising a waitress with a huge tip.
Okay, do you want to eliminate that one, or do you want to keep that one?
Let's eliminate.
Eliminate it?
Yes.
Okay, then out of these two, which one do you want?
I want that one.
You want this one? Okay, so we'll take this one. Okay,
Do I need to see what I eliminated?
I'll show you what you eliminate. That one was, okay,
Yeah.
it's a 20. But here's the thing, it was so fun playing with you, I want you to have it all. Yeah, keep it, that's honestly yours, yeah.
Oh. Yes, no.
Was that cool or what?
That's cute.
That's really cool. Plus he had a bit of fun doing it as well.
Yeah.
But when I first watched that, and I thought, you know, with a lot of the meanness going on and America's so divided, there is some good stuff out there. You know, I mean, I have a lot of fun with the lone ladies all the time. So,
Although I like this video, I'm going to be me.
oh, here we go. Courtney changes the tone of the show. Why are you going to be me?
So it was super nice of him to do that. But I have a little bit of issues with people having to record the nice things that they do.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like sometimes that might be for them to get followers and everything else and make money themselves instead of actually genuinely giving. Now, is that the case here? Maybe, maybe
What's wrong
not.
with that?
But
What's wrong with that? Yeah, what's wrong with that? So you've got Fox News making billions of dollars. Why can't Fox News share some of that with other people by doing nice stuff? It's just on a different level.
that's true.
There is a guy who goes around and basically he'll go to like small businesses and he'll be like, oh, I don't have any like money for food or blah 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 and things like that. And if they give him food for free, like they give him say like a donut for free, then he'll be like, oh, thank you so much, I lied, here's $1,000.
Those are the ones that I like as well.
Hey, let me tell you, what does this guy look like? Just in case he walks in our office.
You're like, I'll give you a free
I'll give you a house.
Hey, we've got free Shipley's Donuts at the front of the office today. We got free Shipley's Donuts. And,
That's so funny.
and-
Oh, I miss the Shipley's donuts.
Donuts. We
They're
didn't
at the
sell
front.
them all.
yeah.
Oh, man.
They're from the meeting on Monday, but just put them in the microwave. And I mean,
Oh.
you know.
Never mind. Nope, I'm good. Man, those Shipley's donuts, they have to be straight off the rack for me to want them.
Yeah. I can't believe the price of the kolaches these days, but another point.
Price of everything, really.
Yeah, globally, and it's not just in America. I'm dealing. My mother's in a home in England, and her residential care has just gone up $800 a month.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
everything's
she's
more
worth it.
expensive.
She's worth it. In the meantime, it's just tough this end.
And then we have this one.
We have another nice thing that somebody did on the next short.
Right.
You wanna
let's
play
see.
that one?
Yeah, let's play that
This
one. Let's go.
I hope this is the right one, because watch it be the wrong one. It's something horrible. And Courtney's like,
It's-
yeah.
No, this is a good one. There was one before that.
It's the one that says "Pain at strangers in Tiger
Yeah,
Groceries."
paying strangers in time. Because to me, if they're paying to give it anyway, and then I've got a question for everybody, sort of which backs up to Courtney.
So this, they're doing about the same thing.
Oh, this is funny. This is funny.
I'm talking about from your shopping cart. Can I have something to eat?
Why would I give you something from my shopping cart?
I don't really have money.
Yeah, well, neither do I.
I don't have a job.
Neither do I.
So I'm a little hungry. Can I have something to eat?
I don't have any money.
Oh no, not money. I'm talking about like maybe I could get something from your groceries.
One of these bags of chips.
Huh? Oh, that would be lovely. Just something to feed my
Don't
stomach.
give them anything, then more people will come here
He's
after
hungry.
you.
I can get him.
Oh, I already see this. This is a married couple. He gives everything, and so she has to be the one to be no.
There you go. So I'm doing a social experiment
Don't
right
even
now.
know each
Whoever
other.
gives me food right now, I'm paying for their whole entire groceries. Thank you for being so nice.
Okay.
Whoever gives me food, I'm paying for their entire.
But the best part comes at the end.
Give you something now.
Can I have something to eat?
I can give you a banana. That's the bit I think. Oh, you can have my banana.
I have my banana. Now pay for my groceries because now it's something in it for me. Those are the kind of videos that I like to watch. More realistic.
You know, I think it's funny.
I think it's hilarious. It's
Got a
just-
question for you.
Uh oh.
All right. I feel that Houston's getting to the point, just like a lot of other cities in the US, where we're having a lot of homelessness. We're getting a lot of people on the streets, and I really don't know what the answer is. What do you think? What do you think about giving people money at crossroads and?
I've even taught my children this. I don't ever give people money that I don't know because I never know
You know
how they're
what?
going to
There's
spend
two,
it.
There's two people that I do give money to on a regular basis.
I always give them food.
Well, I've had one where I gave them a bag of fruit and they got it and they threw it on the floor, and that's really what turned me against it. But there are two guys that I do give money to on a regular basis when I've got cash, because who carries cash these days?
I don't.
All right. One of them is a guy that's got one leg, and another guy is another. Well, the other one is another guy that's got no legs.
Oh my god.
And them are the people that I do, you know, give money to whenever I've got it. It might just be a couple of dollars. It might just, you know, I think the most I've given is 20.
I know not too far away from my house, especially when we go grocery shopping, there's always this family that's there begging, and it's usually mother, husband, and two daughters. We've given them, even my kids, we had just went to a place and got ice cream and stuff, and they gave up their ice creams for them.
Wow. I tried to video somebody at a corner, and what it was a woman that had a baby on a front, and she's trying to sell something. I even forget what it was, but it was actually a dummy. It was a dummy baby. It wasn't a real baby.
Oh, my.
And it was her, a little daughter, all right, and I think it was a husband that was with her, and they was just there, you know, trying to collect cash on that corner. But I think it's a real problem.
One time there was a guy and he was busking. He was playing the guitar, you know, and I was like, oh, he needs money, so I gave him a couple bucks when, you know, because he was playing. I was like, it was really good. as I was giving him the money, he reached his hand out, and the music was still playing. So he was hanging out on the speaker. I was like, wow, this guy's really good. He's playing on the speaker, and I was like, well, now I want my money back, but it's too late.
That is great.
You should have got that on your phone.
Where was this at?
It was outside of Marshall's. I should have known. There's no homeless people outside of Marshall's.
I've never heard that before.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. And then we've got we'll sort of move along. Let's have a look at the next short, because I thought this was a little bit stunning, where a priest's gift to the court.
Let me ask you a question. Why did you come here this morning?
Well, I came to give a donation.
Really?
Yes. I don't know if you want me to let you know what the dollar amount is, but it's $1,000.
$1,000.
Yes. I've been so moved by what you do for these good people of this city. You know, coming to a court is not about collecting fees and money as a cash cow. The court system is about mercy and judging fairly. It's about ruling things, and mercy is not just throwing yourself to the mercy of the court. Mercy, in a real deep theological sense, comes from the word hesed, which is a Jewish term, which means to journey with somebody, give them a sense of hope and purpose in life. What you do is to be congratulated because you represent what the judicial system should be about. Real justice. Use it as you will to help the good citizens of this area.
Let me ask you a question.
All right, what's your scoop on that, ladies?
I've seen this judge many times, and when he's actually judging people, he doesn't just say, okay, you got a traffic ticket, or you were speeding. Were you speeding?
He does
okay.
let people off, doesn't he? He does let people
He
off.
figures out these people's entire life situations and what they're going through, and kind of judges on that, on whether they should pay for the ticket or not. So that's a
You
nice
know
judge.
I'm looking at you. So what's your scoop on this?
No comment.
You've never seen this guy before?
I've never seen that.
He is the sweetest old man ever
Yeah, he
for a
is.
judge.
Frank
I really
Capiro.
don't watch a lot of TV, and I don't
It's on
watch a lot
YouTube.
of
Don't worry about it.
TikToks
You don't
or
need TV anymore.
I
Just
don't watch not a lot of, hardly watch stuff.
okay.
Yeah, sorry. But I mean, if he's a nice person, then that's a good gesture for him to get something.
What's your feeling
But that's
on that?
church money.
No way. Maybe the church is donating.
That's church money.
Yeah, but he's good for the community.
Yeah.
No.
He does some of the church work, basically. Here, don't take $200 out of your pocket. Keep it. You need it.
I don't know.
Just
Like,
think about it. When everybody goes to church and they're putting that pan around the congregation and they're taking that money, if it's not going into the priest's pocket or wherever it is, then he's giving it to the local judicial committee.
I would why didn't he say here's $1,000 so that you can distribute among, I don't know.
What's a judge supposed to do with it, though? Seriously.
But you don't know.
I don't think you can receive money from somebody as a judge.
Keep in mind that
He shouldn't be able to. My opinion is, no judge should ever be able to take any donations at all, just like that.
Right. So why was he giving?
Welcome to. I mean, we've got congressional
Was this
people
in the
taking.
U.S.?
Yes, we've got
So doesn't the
we've got
principal
congressional
sense
people taking money. I know this is meant in good terms and it's meant in goodwill,
Yeah.
but this is something that's got to stop. We've even got Supreme Court justices taking money.
I think they should have elaborated a little bit, hey, so you can help somebody as you go beyond your day with this money. I don't know.
beyond your day. You make it sound like he's 6
How would you
feet
say-
under.
How it's a complete. I guess it's a different. I guess it's a
Pay
different.
for somebody's court ticket. I don't know. Am I
Do you
being?
think he should have just stood outside and just given everybody that walks in $100, the first 10 people that he saw?
Yeah, because I mean,
You just pulled that one out of nowhere.
I don't know. Hey, you won the lottery today.
The whole purpose of the judicial
Judge helped you, so I'm gonna help you.
the whole purpose to me of the judicial system is for fairness for everybody, correct?
It's supposed to
And
be.
to see that laws are followed, correct?
The law's a graded area.
Right.
It's never
As soon as you
black
put
and white.
money into that equation, what happens?
There's embezzlement. There's all this other stuff.
Bribery.
Now, although the priest has good intentions
Right.
on that money, to me, this is the wrong thing.
I think he had a good intention as a priest.
Oh, no,
But-
I'm not saying he
They
did,
should have elaborated a little bit more in the video.
but I think
I
there's.
mean, I'm pretty sure that if the judge has like good
What the
ethics and it's a nice, follow
I
the
mean,
law like he should, maybe.
I don't know if this was
something
short, but to me, what the judge should have said was something like, "Well, why don't we donate it to a local charity or something like that?"
Or maybe he did. They just didn't clip it.
They didn't clip it. Well, that could have happened as well.
If he's that honest and he sees for other people, maybe he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But this is my first time seeing something like that.
All I know is that all the comments are extremely nice.
Right, and and there's no reason why they shouldn't. But I think people get. To me, the judicial system should be kept straight. And although this guy's saying that, I think there should be a better.
Even one person says Judge Frank should be in the Supreme Court of USA.
Which I agree with.
He's in
I
Rhode
agree.
Island.
He's in where?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, and I think he should. I've watched the way he treats his the people that go into his court, and I mean it's sort of entertaining. Really, it's very entertaining. But I don't know if it's done for the cameras. But he himself is a star.
So
he's definitely not a Judge Judy.
He has served
He's the
as
opposite
a
end of
judge
Judge
since
Judy.
1985.
What's that?
He has served as a judge since 1985.
So for 40 years.
And he's, 86 years old? Yeah.
He
should be retired.
No, he shouldn't be retired. He should be going to work until... If he enjoys what he's doing and he's good at what he's doing, which I
You're
think
gonna
he
like
is.
this one. He's a Democrat.
Wow.
And he's married.
I can't believe that he's 90. That's almost.
Yeah.
He looks good for his age.
That's because he's a Democrat. All right.
He's Italian and German. There you go.
Is that a good thing?
That's why he's got those light features and dark features.
All right. Let's move on to the really golden stuff now. Former Republican Liz Cheney baits Donald Trump and the MAGA mob in the new attack ad. Now, there's people around this table that don't really like to say which party they are sort of on the side of, affiliated to, or whatever. And that's fine. What do you all think of Liz Cheney? Do you have respect for her? Or do you despise her? Or
I don't know much about her, honestly. So
I have a lot of respect for her because
I
she
can't say anything.
did what every senator and governor should do for the country, and that's put the country first. Part of the problem we have in this country at the moment is there's so much division, whether they're senators or governors. They vote by party and they don't vote what's important for the country. And I think that was made worse when Mr. Trump got into power. But do you want to play the ad? It was released this morning. Go on, that's it. That was it.
Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney is out with a new political ad just this morning.
the political organization of Liz Cheney, in which she makes a direct effort to talk about the risk of a Donald Trump presidency. We talk about the character, and we have heard time and again from conversations with Republican voters that, they make grimace at January 6th. They make grimace at Donald Trump's character. But what Liz Cheney in this ad you're about to watch does is try to make the case about the risk of another Donald Trump presidency, what it would look like. Take a listen to what folks in New Hampshire are waking up to here today.
Donald Trump is the only president in American history who has refused to guarantee the peaceful transfer of power. He lost the election and he knew it.
Become the president.
He betrayed millions of Americans by telling them the election was stolen.
Stop this
He ignored the rulings of dozens of courts. Rather than accept his defeat, he mobilized a mob to come to Washington and march on the Capitol. Then he watched on television while the mob attacked law enforcement, invaded the Capitol, and hunted the vice president.
That was painful.
What's that? It was. I think for all Americans.
That day was painful.
Dereliction of duty by any president. Trump was warned repeatedly that his plans for January 6th.
The thing that was, to me, that was even more powerful
Today, he celebrates that
and hurtful was he wouldn't call off the people for 3 hours.
fit for office. Donald Trump is a
He
risk
invited them.
that he would never take again.
And people, his consultants, whoever they are, were telling him to call them off. I've got a lot of time and respect for Liz Cheney, and the reason is because she's gone against her party, and she's still a Republican, but she's gone against her party. She lost a seat because she wasn't part of the MAGAs, and I really hope for the good of the country that the MAGA mob back off, because look, guns aren't going away. Democrats aren't against taking your guns away from you. There's no way that will happen. We're so far down the road. I think that's just a vibe that's put out by the NRA, because every time, more guns are sold when the Democrats are in power than any other time. But I really respect Liz Cheney, and the other one that I do like is Nikki Haley. I personally like Nikki Haley, but I think Liz Cheney is more of a traditional Republican, which is conservative views. But I've got a lot of time for any politician that puts her country before her political party. And unfortunately, when you've got maniacs like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and some of the ridiculous things that she says, I just don't think it's a good thing for America. But I think that there's a lot of people actually backing Liz Cheney, apparently. But it's just a shame. What's your opinion on that, ladies?
I mean, she has a right to have an opinion, right? We all have a right to have an opinion on whatever it is. And, like it states in the article, like, she agrees on some Trump political views, but not all. So I think there's a lot of Americans that are like her, they agree on some stuff and they don't agree on other stuff. Like,
So
they
you tell me-
agree on the president stuff, some stuff.
All right, well,
and
tell
they
me
don't
the
agree on
stuff.
other.
Tell me the stuff. Get to the detail.
I don't know. I'm just reading the article. I don't know
Are we
much
talking
about
about
her.
building the wall and the Mexicans are going to pay for it?
There's tunnels, right? Some.
Yeah, but you know what? The Mexicans paid for the tunnels.
I think you could build a wall. It ain't gonna keep them out. They're gonna get creative and go under or over.
Absolutely.
We're gonna win
Or
the
through.
Olympics. We're gonna win the Olympics.
But apparently, the border Olympics. Apparently, Greg Abbott a couple of days ago put an order out that they're going to put barbed wire across the border. And my attitude to that is, why wasn't it done previously?
I have literally seen some of the stuff that they've done to get stuff across the border, and I've literally watched them where a fence is at have a special thing for a truck that goes like this and over, where a car can pull up, and they pull it up like this and go like this, and now they're on the Mexico side and drive away. I'm like, okay, that fence did nothing.
Hey, Hey, where there's a will, there's a way, right? But you know what? Not really Mexicans are traveling to the U.S. It's
I agree with you. It's more Guatemala. It's
people
more
from Central America
Agreed.
and other countries that are using Mexico, and people are not educated enough to stop separating other countries from Mexico. They just say somebody that crosses the Mexican border, they automatically assume they're Mexicans instead of just saying they're Hispanics.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but that's a bit. If that's the same problem as
I
what
think
people
it's
say.
education wise. Even Trump, even like some presidents like, oh, Mexico.
Yeah, but if you're
Hello,
talking
get it
education,
right.
Trump's not there.
Get it right. It's not the Mexicans that are coming here. There's plenty of jobs for them. And I know a lot of people that, go retire. There's a lot of even people that grew up in the U.S. that are
More people
of other races
more
that
people
go to Mexico and retire.
More people retired in Mexico last year than any other country.
It's
The second one was Portugal in Europe.
When I was over there in Mexico, I met quite a few people that were retired that live over there full time on their retirement, and they love it.
I was speaking to somebody about 2 weeks ago, and they said you can be part of. They have these retirement communities, and they reckon that you can get a pretty good quality 2-bedroom unit in one of these communities for like $550 a month.
Yeah. If you can't afford living over here, think about retiring in Mexico.
So
yeah, because now, like, I have not been to Monterey for a couple years, and then I went back and to visit my husband's family, and they were telling me how there are, there's more people that are from other countries in certain sections of the city, like. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, like if you go to this side of town, like there's a lot of like Asian people. And if you go to this side of town, there's a lot of like Cuban people. And this side of town is like a lot of Central American people. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I mean, a lot of stuff
It's very diverse now.
Yeah. And it's cheap over there too, like even for some of the medical stuff. I know whenever we were on vacation, my son got sick with some kind of congestion and everything else. We went and saw the doctor, got 4 different prescriptions, and we walked out of there at like $30-something.
Yeah, the medical industry, as I call it over here, is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I got
It
my
really
LASIK
is.
done in Mexico in 2015.
You got your what done?
LASIK
For your eyes?
for my eyes, and I only paid $400.
How much?
$400
Oh my gosh, what did it cost?
Per eye or both of them?
for both eyes.
What did it cost?
And I would do it all over again. I would do it all
Let
over
me have a
again.
look. Is that why you're cross-eyed?
Oh, there goes the cheeks. Now you're really red.
Yeah, so I got my LASIK done there.
What do you mean?
They did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm?
I'm just making
So-
fun. What do you
He's making fun of you, but you have beautiful eyes,
I'm
Laura.
trying to cross my eyes.
I do. They're my father's eyes. So, but I mean, sometimes they slam a lot about the border. But if people want to cross the border, there's other ways. Now, this is because they're slamming the border and politicians on saying all sorts of stuff. It's causing a lot of problem in Mexico that people are coming through there, because the U.S. is kind of, I feel like they're publicizing it. So, I don't know.
There's a lot of people that publicised it, pardon me, for their own political purposes.
Yeah. But
You
it's
know.
sad seeing, and not a lot of these people are like, that I see, it's like they're in poverty level. There are people that have a good, good jobs, good education.
I think
It's just
I think
like,
America's got to share part of the blame with the immigration crisis, because the immigration system, as in the immigration, United States Immigration Service, they're just so inefficient in my opinion, and they take so long to process somebody, and I really would like to know what that is whether it's because of the FBI checks or whether it's all the other stuff that goes on, and and then you've got to be sponsored and different things, and you should be sponsored, and it should be kept properly. Anyway, a story that came out this morning, and that's one of the reasons why we were late, was George Santos was facing federal charges. He was arrested this morning on federal charges. This is the US Representative George Santos, who faced outrage and mockery over a number of fabrications about his heritage, education and professional pedigree. He's been charged with federal criminal offences. He was saying that he had a university degree. It's come out that he was gay. To me, that doesn't matter. And then somebody else came out and said that he had a girlfriend. So he really has been living a mixed up life. But I do think it's a real problem. When I was saying to the girls this morning that, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat makes no difference to me, but why haven't we got a system where we're checking these people, if they're going to be elected officials going to what we consider as the pillar of our democracy, why have we not got nothing to check these people? If somebody comes in who's an immigrant from Mexico with all the checks that they do, FBI checks and everything else, and we've got somebody going into our halls of democracy, and we can't even check him. To me, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, and some of the stuff, I'm looking into some of the lies that he told. Supposedly, he is the first openly gay person, right, for a representative, and he never disclosed that he was married to a woman. And he actually got divorced less than 2 weeks before he launched his 2020 campaign.
So he has an imposter syndrome?
He lied about where he went to high school, his college. He said he worked on Wall Street.
I mean, it's endless. It's not as if it's just... But as I said to you, we've got, an immigration problem in the country.
You know what's sad? He died about his puppy needing surgery.
He what?
His puppy needing surgery. And in 2017, what was it? Yeah.
He lied about founding an animal charity.
That's sad. The guy needs help.
This is just stuff that has nothing to do with the campaign. He's just lying.
I don't know. He allegedly swindled a disabled vet whose dog was dying.
But here's the other side of the story as well. All right, this is one of the problems we've got where people are voting by party and not by the person, whoever the person is.
And then they said, did he rip off an Amish dog breeder with a bad check?
In 2009, when he was 19 years old, he was investigated by Brazil for allegations of stolen checks. The guy has a record.
I mean, there's so many things that's wrong
Yikes.
on so many levels with this guy. But apparently he was arrested this morning, so I guess he won't be voting in the House for the next couple of days.
Probably a lie too. I'm just joking.
He has a record. It sounds like an imposter syndrome.
Yeah, and then let's see.
He needs help.
Santos wrote on Twitter that September 11th, supposedly the attack on September 11th claimed his mother's life. Then come to find out she was in the building, but she died a few years later from cancer.
He's a horrible person.
And then he had talked about his grandmother being in the Holocaust, and she was not.
Is he even Jewish?
I just thought of something, but I won't even mention it, just to keep it clean.
Who knows?
And then one of the articles is he Jewish or Jewish?
There you go, Stephen.
There's only one way of telling.
I don't know. The list just keeps going on and on. I'm confused.
So why was this guy even on the ballot?
question.
Why wasn't no checks done or nothing?
Not my job to look into his life. Whose job was it?
Well, I just think there should be some sort of system for everybody that wants to. How many other people do you think we might have in Congress or the Senate that have not maybe as severe as this, but have done things, and then it becomes an issue? Well, we all make mistakes in our life.
Okay.
Laura tells me every day I make mistakes in my life.
Me?
Oh, there she goes right again.
I'm not a judge, okay?
I know, because you haven't got $1,000.
No.
We all make mistakes, but completely forgetting where you went to high school and college is a little worse than just a mistake.
Anyway.
He also lied about appearing in Hannah Montana's show. Aw.
Anna Montana.
You don't remember Hannah Montana?
No.
What did he say that he played? Like, who did he say he played?
I don't know. Who's here? I'm like, what?
I know. I keep going through the stuff and I'm not even to the bottom. I can find so many things. It just keeps going.
Somebody wrote a good article on him, man.
He needs help. Poor guy.
He's a complete
So do you think he needs counselling?
Is there a truth serum?
Do you think
Maybe a lie detector test?
Do you think he'll be treated different because he's a governor?
In the court system?
Yeah. Or do you think
Anybody with high profile is.
Everybody's treated.
Because, I mean, like, even singers and stuff, when they go to court,
If
they
he was-
could get a DUI and they get out in, 30 days? Go to a special $1 million
if he was an
rehab?
African American or Hispanic, do you think? Well, I think he is Hispanic. But
No, he's Jewish, remember? That's what he said.
He's Brazilian, ain't he? His parents are from Brazil.
I mean, Santos is a Hispanic last name.
I think he's
So,
Brazilian, but don't take my word
It says
for
that
it.
at 19 he had charges in Brazil, so maybe he grew up in Brazil. I don't know.
maybe crawled
Maybe he
under the
was.
tunnels just to get away from Brazil.
I
Won
think
the
that
Olympics.
they'll treat him
The
worse
Water Olympics.
because of everything that he lied about. I think that because he lied about so much, I feel like they're going to treat him. I don't think that they're going to treat him well.
Well, me as a human being, if I know of somebody
They're
or I
just
catch
gonna-
people in lies, it's hard to know what to believe and what not to believe once that person starts talking again.
They're going to say that he has a mental problem and they're just going to forgive him.
You think so?
I mean, isn't that what they do to all these people? Oh, poor thing, mental problem, discard.
I don't think that he was high enough stature though for him to get off like everybody else would. I
You
feel
think
like.
so?
No, because this is the first time we've heard of him.
But look how much it has gone on. Now, how old is this guy now?
But he's got the cutest face. How could you be mad at that?
There you go.
I wonder how he felt when they turned up at his house this morning and said, "Hey, we got a pair of cuffs for you, turn around."
Did they actually arrest him and bring him to
he's
jail?
been- he was arrested this morning.
Huh, okay.
They did.
Yeah.
But everything, all of charges that he has right now are sealed.
Did he had handcuffs, or they just escorted him to the car?
He was arrested. So what's that?
Well, Trump was arrested, and there was no handcuffs.
Would you think that was because they just didn't want to?
So who knows?
Well, I don't know. We seen a video the other week when he was in was it an orange
Orange
jumpsuit?
suit.
That's his color.
Matches his hair.
No, it matches his skin.
Poor guy. He just
So
has
let's
a list
talk
that
about-
keeps on giving.
Let's talk about something positive. How about let's go there.
We've got a powerful solar storm that's due to hit Earth on Wednesday. So tell us what a solar storm is, Courtney.
So
You've done the research.
A little bit. So a solar storm is when the sun ejects large amounts of electrons and protons. So what that does is it messes with the Earth's magnetic field, and so you can actually see like polar lights visible, like in the sky and as far as like
Can you pull a photo of that?
different
Kat?
lights.
Just
It
so
makes it
people
a
can
lot
see.
easier to view them due to this happening.
Yeah, so at night time you're going to see It's a bit like, was it the Aurora Borealis? My daughter's in Iceland at the moment, but apparently...
Like the Northern Lights?
Yes.
Something similar?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And apparently it's going to be seen,
That'd be cool to watch.
Yeah.
Do y'all know what auroras are?
What are they?
I don't know. I'm gonna
Is it a
find
hen?
It's a snake.
So auroras are also commonly known as polar lights or northern lights. It's a natural light display in Earth's sky, predominantly seen in high latitude regions as the Arctic or Antarctica.
Yeah.
You can see them in like Michigan and things like that. If you go anywhere kind of up north away from a bunch of pollution, like if you go to Montana and things like that, like right on the edge of Canada, you can kind of see them.
So they're saying that people have seen it as far south as California, Utah, and New Mexico in the recent months, that they've been able to see this in the sky. Now, if you're in downtown Houston, highly doubt it. You're going to have to go somewhere where there's not a lot of lights.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, where I live now, I can see a whole lot more stars than where I used to live.
We're going to go camping in your backyard. See if we can see some of these auroras.
We might be attacked by hens.
No, you'll probably get attacked by my dogs licking you.
I'll just bring my old English sheepdogs. The other day we had 7 dogs in the house.
7?
Yeah, because my daughter's in Iceland, so she's got an old English sheepdog. So we have 3. Then there's old English sheepdog, and then my son's got 3 dogs.
Are they all big? I know yours are.
2 border collies.
Okay, that's
and-
medium.
And
medium.
one is just a street mix.
But man, those border collies shed
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah, but
Mine is a border collie with the lab, and
But the
he
border
sheds.
collies, I think, are incredible dogs.
I know. I have enough issues trying to keep my house
family
clean with
originally-
3.
My family originally from Wales, and we had a farm in Wales. And I don't really remember much of it, but we used to use the old English sheepdogs because my grandfather was very much of a traditionalist. And then everybody started using the border collies that was so much more efficient. And the border collies, I mean, they can run for hours. Hours, and it doesn't.
They're very energetic, yeah.
Absolutely hours.
Isn't your dog mixed with a border collie?
Yep.
But honestly, that one is the most calmest dog you
But he's so easy
But
to train.
he's so obedient. Like
That's
in
so
the
easy to
morning, he
train.
wants his hug and
I
his
just-
kiss, and then he walks away.
Really?
Yeah, every morning, same.
They're,
same
they're
routine.
beautiful dogs. My uncle in England, he used to have 2. Unfortunately, they've passed now. But
Maybe that's why your wife is in a bad mood, because she's having to clean up after all those dogs.
in all fairness, no. Credit where credit's due. My wife gives so much of her time to look after the dogs. She really does. She really, does that.
So it says here that Copper Break State Park is the best place to go watch these auroras here in
Copper
Texas.
State Park,
Where is
Find
that?
out where that's at.
Montana, Idaho. It's gotta
This
be-
is in Texas, so let's see where that's at.
Probably gonna be way up in the tip.
Yeah.
Bet it is.
Probably really close to Mexico. Copper breaks.
No, it's actually close to between Lubbock and Wichita Falls.
Oh yeah, it's way up there. Pretty close to
Oh.
Amarillo.
Above Abilene.
Abilene.
See?
Only about 500 or 600 miles away from here. In the same state.
Road trip.
Oh, me and Lord are on road trips.
I have a closing.
You want to go to
in
another?
Dallas, so
you,
let's go.
You want to go to another maple farm?
Yes, let's go to Maple Farm. This one's a copper farm.
I'll never forget. We were on a road trip, and we were with one of our lenders over in Michigan, and she's all like, "I've been to Maple Farm before. Let's go to Maple Farm." She Googles Maple Farm. We go, and I'm like, we drive up, and I'm like, is this what a maple farm looks like, Laura? Oh no, this was Maple Farm stables for horse boarding. So we got to see a few horses that wouldn't even come out because they didn't like us. But that's all we got from the Maple Farm.
So let's move over to our next topic. You clicked it. The parent blames McDonald's nuggets for Broward toddler's severe burn. The pain shrieks of a 4-year-old girl filed a Broward courtroom Tuesday, a vivid reminder that a family's lawsuit against a fast food giant over dangerously hot chicken nuggets is no laughing matter. The screams were recorded in 2019, the day Philiana Holmes bought her daughter a Chicken McNugget Happy Meal at a Tamarick McDonald's drive-thru. No one is disputing that the second-degree burn on the girl's skin was caused by the chicken. The dispute in court is over who is to blame. What's your feelings on that, mummies?
Ooh, I like this. So I was just assuming this was going to be burns to her mouth. It says chicken nuggets are designed to be eaten, not to be pressed against the thigh of a 4-year-old girl for 2 minutes.
What?
So it wasn't in her mouth. It was on her thigh of where she got burnt. So maybe she dropped it onto her thigh?
Yeah, it says the chicken nuggets are designed to be eaten, not to be pressed against the thigh of a 4-year-old girl for 2 minutes.
It was wedged between her thigh and the seatbelt, causing second-degree burns and scars that plague the victim to this day.
What's your feeling on that? I mean, we've had the person that sued McDonald's because the coffee was hot. I complain whether it's Taco or McDonald's or whatever if the coffee is not hot.
I just say that's the American way.
I mean, what's that?
If there's a place to sue, why not?
Yeah, everybody sues everybody.
So,
yeah.
You think that's a good thing? Do you honestly think that's a good thing?
Depends on who the person is that wins the
I think it's a terrible thing. That's the problem with America, and I think it stops a lot of businesses because what's happening is a lot of these. It's like you get lawyers on TV. You know, if you're hit by an 18-wheeler, then call me. And what is these lawyers are out there, and basically they don't get paid unless you win, but they're not after the company, the 18-wheeler company that's been sued. They're after the insurance company that's insuring, and all it's doing is pushing the interest rates up, like pushing the premiums up for the insurance, which is pushing up your expenses for your food.
No, I think especially for a 4-year-old too, I think it's 50-50. Like McDonald's, especially when you're doing a Happy Meal, should be more, take responsibility and make sure that you're not taking them straight out of the fryer and just dumping them in there. But at the same time, it makes a
difference if it's a drive-through or they eat in.
Does it make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
As far as who's at fault?
Mm-hmm.
No.
But there's no seatbelt in the restaurant.
That's true.
Yeah, the kid would still be on a seat restrained because they have those little boosters. If she was 4 years old, you have to sit her on those.
I don't know. I think at 4, I was still checking to see if my kid's food was hot.
Right.
I mean, because this is my argument. The mum's driving, so is she honestly paying any attention to her 4-year-old?
No.
I bet you that 4-year-old started screaming and she probably thought she just dropped a nugget and was mad.
Or was mad because she only had 4 chicken nuggets rather than the 6.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I mean, I'm not making fun of anybody, but I'm just trying to make a bit of a light of it. But quite honestly, where did you buy that jug? Where did you buy that jug?
This?
Buc-ee's?
No. It's my Stanley Cup.
I know that. What's a Stanley Cup?
A Stanley Cup is, I don't know, it's just to keep your water. Keep you hydrated.
It's the new thing now.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
It's a bit like the other one that we had at the time.
It's like a jetty.
Yeah.
Or like your Arctic.
Arctic,
say that one more time. It's like a what?
Jetty.
A jetty.
Yeah, this isn't Arctic.
Jetty, Arctic. This one is a Stanley.
You mean a Yeti with a Y?
I say jetty.
I didn't know what she was talking about. I was
Thank
just
you.
Is it Yeti or is it a Jetty cup?
A jetty.
You're just following the crowd over there?
Whatever a jetty is, that sounds my favorite.
Arctic, an igloo, whatever. This is a
And
stamp.
those are just as expensive as a Yeti too.
I like. This was like $40.
Yeah, this is $35 for this little.
See,
thing.
that's 35. That's smaller.
Yeah, but
Well, this one keeps
also
your.
it has like a
I have my 50-cent water. I'm good.
This one keeps my. It keeps the water cold.
Yeah, I've been trying to drink my coffee this entire time, and it's too hot. It's like barely a quarter inch.
So let's just get back to the McDonald's.
But to the McDonald's
hot
thing,
It says the first witness was Ralph Fernandez, the liaison between the franchise operator Upchurch and McDonald's USA. It's on the bottom paragraph. Fernandez testified that the chicken is cooked to a temperature of 160 degrees and maintains...
Oh, there's a video where she gave the food.
What's that?
Just reached out and gave the food to her kids.
Where's that?
She didn't give the food to her mom?
No, well, she's on the drive-thru. Let me send it to you. Ooh, those are burns. Poor baby. I mean, not that I don't feel sorry for the child, right?
Oh,
Like
I feel
said,
sorry for the
Mom,
child, but
You know, but
I think the mother should have responsibility.
if my kid starts screaming, I just put it on Discord. My kids start screaming, like I will pull over and try to figure out what happened. But then was she in a...
Oh, she did get burned bad.
That's bad.
Wow.
You are. Look, if you look at the comments of this article, it says 2 hours ago, food safety means certain foods like meat needs to be maintained at a certain temperature or it can go bad. Sorry, but maintaining at a lesser temperature puts everyone at risk of food poisoning. The adult with the child is to blame, period. Then the next one is, which I think is interesting, is correct. I have 2 4-year-old granddaughters, and anytime I can serve them something that is hot or warm, I check it and then tell them to touch it with their finger before eating it. We all know how painful it is to bite into something really hot and burn our tongue, mouth. The parent is to blame. Exactly, people do not want to take responsibility for their actions.
Yeah, because you can see on the video right here that she's just taking it.
She has 2 kids in the car.
But to me, she should have checked them.
She didn't even feel the box.
I don't know, but what temperature does it have to be to leave such a bad burn, though? Were those hotter than what they were supposed to be?
But the other thing is, if your kid's screaming for how many minutes?
2.
How many minutes?
2.
2 minutes?
Yeah, why would
Do you not think if she's screaming?
Oh, wait, let me record and let her keep screaming. Was that the intention? Because as a mom, I'm not going to record. I'm just going to pull over and see what is happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not going to have time to record.
Hey, at least they're not seeking a ridiculous amount, like millions of dollars. They're seeking $15,000, which is pretty much for the medical bills, I would say.
You can see one of her kids just eating the fries though when she drives off. Right there. Just sticking a fry in her mouth. So I don't know. She definitely didn't touch the box to see if it was hot.
So I don't know.
I think it can happen to any parent that, like, if you just give hot food to your kid and you're not cautious, you can,
So
they can burn themselves.
every time you go through McDonald's, the new routine is we're going to record to make sure our kids don't scream. And then we're going to check that there's no hot food in it.
What?
Well, I mean,
I am not buying
to-
food from that McDonald's as the food.
to avoid this, I just think it's a bogus lawsuit. I really do. I just think it's somebody trying to, I think mommy should have been a little bit more. It's a parent. To me, it's a parent's responsibility. You know, just be responsible for your kids. I mean, it's quite easy to see if it's too hot or whatever. How many times have you been around the table at your house and you're feeding your kid and you're saying, just hold on, it's too hot? It's
I've
soup
said that
or whatever.
plenty of times,
Well, there you go.
Like macaroni and cheese, you make it, and even though, you stir it and whatever, it's still hot. You have to tell your kid, like, don't put it in your mouth. Like, so many times.
Yeah.
Can
I
you-
just wonder how hot it has to be to burn that bad.
But to burn, like, I've never...
Have you
on
seen
a
the
nugget?
pictures of how bad it is?
Yeah, I've seen it up there.
That seems like extremely hot.
Okay,
Like,
but-
not just...
But would that have happened if the mum had been more vigilant?
If it burned that bad, I'd say even
Wouldn't
if she
it-
had time to take it out, it still would have burnt the crap out of her.
Wouldn't it have burnt the box, maybe?
Your skin is much more
It's much more sensitive,
than
absolutely.
a box.
But it would have kind of, how you put stuff in those boxes are pretty thin.
So the question is, how hot was that food to have to burn like that?
It's one of the comments on here says, for crying out loud, they would be the same people who would complain about them not being fresh or cold. They handed a cold food which could always be hot. The parents were to blame, not McDonald's. All the comments on here are sorry, but it's the parents' job to check the food.
But those images are really
And
I see this,
and
check
I'm
your-
not, and I'm not,
are really worrisome.
and I'm not saying
Like,
that.
are my insides
I'm not
gonna
saying
burn?
they're
I need
not.
a chicken nugget.
Okay, I'll go outside. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's do it. The front desk of our office. The coffee's extra hot.
Yeah.
All right, and it could be one of our agents. The agent burns themselves. Whose fault is it?
Keep in mind, we do not give any legal advice on this show.
No, but in this is your opinion. It's an opinion. We share our
I mean, if
opinions.
you're gonna grab coffee as an adult, I'm gonna check, sip it. If it's too hot, then I kind of wait. Uncover my
I've done it
coffee.
before and
But
burnt my mouth or my lips.
It's
or,
no different than if somebody spills something, or maybe you have a leak and there's some water that comes in the doors and it's raining. If there's a puddle on the floor and somebody trips and falls in your establishment, guess who's at fault? Guess who's going to get sued and when?
But I think that's different, and I think it's different in so many ways, because with this, the child was crying for 2 minutes. The chicken nugget was in the child's thigh or wherever it was for 2 minutes. The mom's so busy driving the car, getting on with what she's doing, as soon as that child was crying, perhaps what she should have done was pulled over. Many McDonald's have got these places where you can pull over, and they bring the food out to you if the food's not ready.
Yeah. Well, to give the mom benefit of the doubt, if she was on the run to go to the next errand or something, she probably was stuck on traffic but to record.
There's nothing like putting your children second over
But
the
to
traffic.
record, that's totally different.
She started
Like maybe take pictures afterwards, but have a recording of your child screaming.
She has a recording of her
Yes.
screaming?
That's
Does that
what they just said.
That's what they just said. So doesn't that make it suspicious to you?
Yeah, I wonder if it was a recording after she removed the chicken nugget or before.
Maybe if it was after, the kid is going to be in pain. That is.
And it's a
those
shame that
images
the
are
kid's in pain. I mean, I'm not.
Like, I've been 2nd and 3rd degree burned, and that pain is horrible.
Yeah, burns are no.
They're not fun. That's what I'm saying. Like, if she record the pain, like her screaming after she took the nugget away, that's justifiable. But before taking
Here we
it
go.
away, it's like
Even one of the comments says because it was a setup from the start to cash in.
I don't
That's the
think
one
it
of the
was a
comments said.
setup precisely.
Who gave the kid the food? The person at the drive-through or the parents? Good point. Good point.
I don't think it was really a setup. It was just an unfortunate of events, you know?
I'm seeing a lot that's saying that there's no way that this was a chicken nugget that did that. And then some are saying, check your kids' food. Common sense, people. With that said, those burns didn't come from chicken nuggets.
Nugget and I'm going to do this.
Here, hold on. Chicken nugget. Hiya! 15,000, please.
But poor kid, man.
Yeah, most
That
people
looks
complain
really
because
painful.
their food is cold. That's me. All right. Okay, well, I think time is up.
I got one more comment to say. I feel bad for this little girl, but I haven't seen a hot McNugget in years. Normally, they're just cold and dry.
So, one last thing, which I'm going to ask you ladies. Did you see the coronation of King Charles III?
No, but how did that go?
Did you see it?
I watched Bridgerton. There was a coronation there.
So you,
King
so,
George
so you like the English stuff. So you Americans, you like our English tradition.
I like the English shows back
I
in
watched
like
Bridgerton.
the 20s, like 1920s, 18,
What was the other
late
one
1800s.
that's a well-known show? That's I never watched it. Abbey something. Abbey. Was it
There's
called?
Downtown Abbey?
Downtown Abbey. That was one.
There's
never watched
Mary
that.
as well. I don't know what the show is actually called, but it's about Queen.
There's the
There was another one called Upstairs Downstairs, which was a famous one in England years ago.
I think they're
where
making
they
a
used to-
remake of that.
Where they used to have a royalty, like a lord upstairs, and they used to have all the butlers and the cooks and stuff downstairs, and that's what the whole philosophy of it was. It's called Upstairs Downstairs, and it was a pretty good show. My grandmother actually used to watch it all the time. It's about the only thing she ever watched.
I like Bridgerton.
What do you like about it?
I don't know. All the fancy dresses.
So you watch it for the fashion?
I love the dresses back then.
Yes.
I'd never want to wear one, but they look
Yeah,
awesome.
I would never want to wear
Did you want to wear a corset as well?
It looks
'Cause
like
they
it
used to
would
wear-
be super heavy.
But they used to wear corsets.
Yeah, and men
things.
used to wear corsets too.
They used to pull them corsets.
Oh, screw that.
Well, I'm only the women in them time. I would have thought said that as well.
I just
So-
thought it was.
So
Anything
there's
else this morning?
there's a show called Rain. That's what I used to watch. It's about the Queen of Scotland, Mary, goes to France. And it has a lot about England in there as well, but I love that show.
I remember that show.
You remember that show?
I've
It's
never
called
watched
Rain.
Rain.
There's also a show about Queen Elizabeth, too.
I think
There's
it's
a
The
new one.
Crown.
The Crown, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've noticed that a lot
That
of...
one got. That's kind of boring.
Have you watched some stuff on history? I've watched like on Netflix, trying to go on there and see movies like this, thinking that they're movies like that, but they're in between movies like this and the History Channel. They have literally like scenes that are just out of this, but then they have people explaining the history behind it and stuff. And I'm like, this is weird.
I like to watch. I
That's
would
like the
rather
new
watch
thing
the
now.
Show because it's more like all these costumes and stuff.
Drama?
It's like,
You like your novellas?
I don't watch novellas. I haven't watched a novella since.
Bridgerton is a novella.
I haven't watched a Spanish novella in years.
I don't know.
Like, I'm talking about probably 14 years.
Do you know what a novella is?
No.
It's a soap.
It's soap
As you can
operas.
tell, you know I
Spanish
follow a lot of
soap operas.
soaps. I go home.
Do you watch soaps?
I go home and I'm driving and I'm thinking I've got to go home and watch that soap tonight. I'm really looking forward to that soap.
What do you watch? The Days of My Life?
No, I'm on YouTube all the
Hospital?
time looking stuff for this podcast, or getting sort of.
Or do you
You
go
know,
to your
I'll be
real
honest
life
with you,
soap at home?
Kay's to blame because she's got me watching all these shorts, and some of these shorts are really funny.
You're
So,
a YouTuber.
You know, if you really want to, do you know what? It's so amazing how at one time I used to pay $300 a month for cable TV, and now I mean, what have we got? We got Netflix, Amazon Prime,
Hulu,
Apple.
I haven't got Hulu.
Apple TV.
Peacock,
I think my daughter's got Apple.
Pluto, HBO Max. There's all kinds of
I
stuff
don't
now.
have HBO Max, so it's all there. But
Oh, they have Apple TV as well now.
Yeah, my daughter's got Apple. So it's just, it's amazing. I've got to, before we wrap
You
all
should watch
this up.
Bridgerton and let us know what you think about Bridgerton.
Where is it?
Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The last series.
It's steamy. With extra steamy.
As in sexually. Yeah, but you see, that's the part.
Well,
that
it has all kinds of stuff, but
fashion,
I like
sex.
I like the fashion. Like it's, I don't know.
Yeah, the dresses are really cute.
Do you know what?
You know what's interesting?
I'll watch an episode.
Why would they why would they take an umbrella outside on a sunny day? Like, don't you
To
wanna
protect-
enjoy the
no,
sun?
Because back then, being
the sun.
fair and not having a tan was in.
That's what they do in. That's what they do in Asia. That's what they do in Mexico, down in Spain
Yeah,
and stuff.
because peasants used to work in the fields, so the darker that you were, the less attractive you were back then, or well, even now. So now,
And you
so
don't
lighter
know that?
skin is in.
And you don't know that. I'm just fussing.
Do
with
they
it.
have bleaching areas
no.
here instead of tanning areas?
They have,
don't know.
They have bleaching cream and like
All right.
Zuniga.
As the lone ladies here, I want to ask you a question. It's not in our Discord. Do you know what house hacking is?
House hacking. Is that where squatters go in the houses?
No.
No, you want to
It's a
elaborate?
new term. It's called house hacking, and what it is a lot of Gen Zs are now doing house hacking, and what they're basically doing is they're renting out part of their primary residence that can offset or eliminate their mortgage and payments, and getting to a property or neighbourhood that you could otherwise not afford. So what they're doing is it's basically called house hacking. So if it's
They're renting out rooms.
yeah, that's basically what it is.
Well, a lot of people do that. A lot of people have done that for.
A lot of Gen Zs are doing that now, but that's what they're doing, is trying to eliminate their mortgage.
That's a great way to do it.
Especially if you can pay that principal down.
I mean, that's basically what people do with like Airbnbs. They rent out just one room for the Airbnb. I went to an Airbnb once. I just rented a room, and there was a guy who was just like living there for like 2.5 weeks, and he's like, "Don't mind my stuff." I'm like, I'm just here for the weekend. Can you like make a space for me for the little like in the refrigerator?
Oh.
But he was living there.
Yeah, there's some HOAs that are now saying that they can't do Airbnbs and VRBOs and stuff. The HOAs are coming down on it.
Oh, HO is whole nother subject. Let's end there.
So, anyway,
Well, they have sofa surfing.
do you think Airbnbs are a good
Rent
thing
the
for a neighbourhood
sofa.
then?
Airbnbs are what?
Do you think people using houses and Airbnbs is a good thing for a neighbourhood? You don't know if they're criminals. You don't know if they're just going to party all night.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Because that's why HOAs, are sort of standing up to a bit now. You don't know if they're criminals. You don't know if you don't know if they are sexual predators.
Does the HOA have a say on that?
Well, we do HOA management, as you know. All right. On the declarations we've just amended a lot of our declarations where it says that a visitor is somebody that can stay at a property for up to 14 days, but anything that the visitor steps out of line for, the owner is responsible for. But if anybody stays over 14 days, and that's a long time to me, then if anybody stays for more than 14 days, then they basically need to do a credit check.
So I get the HOA, I get why they're there, but at the same time, that is why I'm not in an HOA, because I brought my property, I spent a lot of money, I want to do whatever the heck I want with it.
Okay, so which I understand. So how would you feel if the person next to you ended up as a scrapyard?
It would suck.
That's the problem.
But literally, I will have to show you the house that I moved out of is a pretty house, right? Across the street, they have a Habitat for Humanity house, and it was doing good. But the mother that was there doesn't live there no more. Now it's only the son. And he literally collects rocks and trash from the neighborhood. And it is a hoarder house. And it is full to the brim from the ditch all the way to the back of the house of stuff.
The problem, I think, with the homeowners associations, and we're going to talk about this at a later time. We're going to wrap this up in a bit. But the problem is, you'll get some people on the HOAs that think they're president of the United States, and they don't understand that HOAs are run by declarations, and tenants and even landlords have their rights, and that's the problem, and that stems predominantly from self-managed HOAs. So if HOAs are self-managed, they don't understand the rules of the road. They don't understand.
I know my father-in-law, where he lives, he left his trash can out. He would leave it out by the garage, on his property and everything. With him leaving it out there just for one day, they had already given him a notice that he needs to put it inside of his garage, out of view.
Is it self-managed?
I have no idea. All I know is I don't want to live in that neighborhood.
Yeah, I bought an investment property, and I didn't even know it had a HOA because it was a voluntary HOA, and they actually told me that it's $400 a year HOA fee, but I should have known better, because with a voluntary HOA you don't have to join it. So
but once you join it, you're screwed?
No. But basically next year, because I wanted time to actually go to one of the attorneys that we use, just to make sure that I was right.
That makes no sense to have a voluntary HOA.
But their reason.
Why would you sign up for a voluntary
But
HOA?
their reason
I
for.
think that's only to keep the lights on the street, because where I used to live, we had a voluntary HOA.
It's to keep up the standards.
And
That's what
just
it's for. It's to.
I think that had something to do with keeping the lights on the street.
No, the voluntary HOA is to
No.
make sure that people behave, and at the same time, but they can only enforce the City of Houston rules and regulations. So, in other words,
You have manpower.
They
to
have the
push it.
neighborhood patrol to make sure that,
Got it.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. So that's the Olympian Table for another week. We're going to get by and start to do our daily work over at the office. Please tune in tomorrow for the Texas Real Estate Show. We've got some interesting topics to talk about tomorrow, which we all look forward to. So my name is Steve Williams, and we'd like to thank you for tuning in. We are here every Wednesday at 10:30. We've actually changed the time now. We're a little bit later. And from the Lone Ladies, Laura, how do we get hold of you?
832-274-9841.
No dirty calls, please. And how about an email?
Laura, Laura, at lspmortgage.com.
And how about social media?
Social media, Laura Mortgage Boss.
Laura Mortgage Boss?
Yes.
That's a pretty cool. That's good. And is that on Instagram? Is that
On TikTok, and Instagram is savingmadness_blog.
Wow. Okay. And how about you, Courtney? How do we get hold of you?
Yes, 832-409-7908, and Courtney at lspmortgage.com. Don't ask me for my social media. It's on my business card.
Okay. All right, then. If people want to get hold of me, you can get hold of me through broker at c21olympian.com, or you can contact the office, My number is 713-550-0096. We appreciate your time. We do look forward to any comments than what we've sort of spoke about today. Please feel free to make your comments, your opinions, and we'd love to hear from you on that. So until next week, ta-ta for now.